Hi everyone, happy Pride. My name is Teresa Miller. I'm a librarian at Spalding's branch in Prince George's County Memorial Library System, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. And today I am going to teach you how to make some paper cranes like these ones. You'll start off with a square piece of paper like this. If you don't have any paper around that's already cut down to a perfect square, you can make it yourself with just a regular rectangular sheet. Just take one of the shorter top edges and fold it over so that it lines up evenly with one of the longer edges. A tip for making it as square as possible is to make sure that you fold this corner as precisely as you can. So line up that edge, fold out the crease, and then you can just trim along here and toss away that extra rectangle at the bottom, and you've got perfect square to work with. So I'm going to be using this more colorful, already pre-cut piece. This line that you fold here isn't going to interrupt any of the folding you're about to do because this is this fold we start with anyway. So first diagonal fold. With all of these, the trick to getting a really nice, crisply folded paper crane is to always make sure that you're lining up the corners and the edges as precisely as you can. It might feel a little tedious, but it will pay off in the end, I promise. So fold that down, give it a nice crease. All right, that's the first fold. Now we're going to fold it in half, both ways. Again, make sure that everything's lined up as evenly as possible. There we go. I like to press down each fold with the edge of my fingernail just to help make a nice clean fold. And then fold across the other way here. Okay. Okay, and then the last fold that we're starting out with is another diagonal here. You can do these in any order, of course. I like to do this one last just because it puts us in a nice position to start the next step. All right, there we go. So now hold it with the point facing towards you like this, and you're going to want to hold down one side and then fold up just the top layer of the other side right along this crease that we folded here. So that crease is going to turn kind of inside out. Press that down inside and then just push this corner here down as well. So you'll get a nice square shape right here. And then flip it over and do the same thing. Hold down this side with one hand, lift it up just the top layer at the crease, fold that crease the opposite direction that it was, and then press down the corner. And again, check that all your creases are coming out nice and even. This should be a nice point, and inside these should be lined up next to each other and not overlapping. All right, next take just the top layer here, and we're going to line up this edge with the crease that's in the middle. And a trick with this to get the final result nice and clean is to not pull the edge all the way so that it's exactly lined up with the crease in the middle, but to actually leave a little bit of space right there. I hope you can see that. There's a little bit of space between the edge of that top piece of paper and the crease in the middle. Because as you're folding, papers does have some thickness to it, and that thickness is going to add up. So if you allow just a little extra space to accommodate for that in your folds, it'll come out pressed nice and flat and clean at the end. But you will still want to make sure that the very bottom is as close to the corner as you can get it, and then just allow the extra space the rest of the way up. All right, and then do the same thing on the other side, just the top layer folded over to line up with that middle crease. All right, and then we're going to flip it over and do the same exact thing. Keep this top edge nice and pointed. Press the top corner and press this down with a little bit of extra space. There we go. All right. So this is what we're working with now, this kite shape. Next, we're going to take the top corner, or this top point, and fold it over flat like this. Try to pull it down, pull these corners down as far as you can without straining the paper too much. And press it flat. Since there's quite a few layers of paper here, it helps to have something like a folding tool or the edge of your fingernail to really press that down. So fold it one way and then just flip it over and fold it the other way. And all we're doing here is creating a guiding crease for the next fold. This isn't going to stay down. This is going to become the center of the crane. So now keep this, the top of your kite facing up. We're going to open up these top folds here. And these lines that you folded are also going to be guiding creases. Now lift up this bottom point, just the top layer, so that when you lift it, the very top of the kite stays down and it folds at this crease that you made. So open that up, and as it moves up, it's going to pull in these edges. See, so as those come in, just flip the creases you already made so they're pressing the other way. And then that should lay down nice and flat. If you want it to be really precise, you can double check your corners down here at this point, make sure that they're folded in tightly. It's not essential, but up to you. Now just flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. Make sure to work this crease so that it's ready to fold in the right direction. Open up the flaps, lift up just the top layer so that this part is staying flat, it's folding at that crease, and then bring in the edges as you pull that upwards and kind of help it along, help those creases come out flat so nothing tears. And there we go. All right, good job. Next, we're going to take, you see, you have 2 layers here like we did before. So take just the top layer again, take this edge and line it up with the space in the middle. So just the top layer folded to come down right here. And again, like I said before, if you allow just a little bit of extra space, that's going to help all the folds come together without scrunching on top of each other, and it'll come out with a nice clean look. So you can see here, I left a little bit of extra space. I hope you can see that between the edge of the paper that we're lining it up with and the fold that came over. All right, so do that again on the opposite side. Right there. Check that the points at the bottom are nice and tight. Press that flat and then flip it over and do the same exact thing. Another thing, if you cut your own paper and it's not quite square, or if for some reason the pre-cut square that you have isn't actually cut perfectly square, you might have where the folds on the top layer that you're working with at the moment are maybe a little to the left or to the right of the folds on the other side. But that really doesn't have to be a big deal with the finished product as long as the side you're working on is lined up nice and neatly. It doesn't matter if the opposite side is like a little bit crooked, like if it looks kind of like that, because once you fold it up, it won't be noticeable. Hope that made sense. It might be a little confusing if you're not looking at it. But all right, so now we're here and we're going to take just this top layer on each side and bring them together. And then take the other two and bring them together. And it should look like this. So the two sides just kind of fold into each other like that. And it should be able to lay nice and flat. Now take the longer point here, just the top layer, and fold that all the way up so that it meets the points up at the top. Press that all nice and flat, flip it over, do the same thing. So now we have a little bundle like this. And then we're going to fold the top two layers towards each other again, like this. And do the same on the other side. And that should all lie flat inside too. Now, these are the wings, and inside these 2 points are the head and the tail. There are a few different styles of folding out the wings. Some people will crease it here. You might see someone crease it even lower. My favorite is to not crease it at all and just take each wing on either side and kind of gently pull it out like this. Now take these 2 points in the middle and gently pull them down so that I like to line them up with the edges here or a little bit further, maybe like this. And then just kind of recrease this bottom edge to hold them in place. And do the same thing on the other side. And then pick which of these sides you want to be your head. I usually leave whichever one looks nicer to be the tail. I think I like the looks of this one a little bit better. So I'll leave that as the tail and choose this side as the head. So whichever side you choose to be the head, go ahead and just slightly open it up a little bit. And then take the point and press it down like this. And we're going to kind of turn part of the fold inside out, if that makes sense. I'll do that again because I think my fingers are kind of in the way, but it's going to crease down like that. So if you can see how that fold moves, we're going to start out up here, open it up slightly, and then press the tip like down kind of into the fold. And then once you come part way down, don't bring it all the way down, but once you come about halfway down, press those together again, and then pinch it in to make a crease like that. And then once you've formed the tail and the head and kind of fold them out, then pull out the wings a second time. And I like to kind of very gently, because if the paper is kind of thin, this might tear, very gently kind of pull this out and push down the center a little bit. There are different styles of finishing it off, but this is what I've come to like. So you can kind of push down at the center gently bring it out so that it's a little bit flattened on top, and that will help keep the wings in position. And there you go. That's a finished paper crane. And of course, you can then go wild with decorating with markers, sequins, yarn, whatever you're thinking. Get creative. Cranes can be a really fun way to express yourself. You can always, write on the wings, or I feel like it'd be great to like add some fringe off the wings or something. Or you can make lots of simple ones and put them together in a garland, like what I had at the beginning in my own space. But yeah, lots of things to do. You can also, if you want to use them for like a card or some kind of scrapbooking project or an art project, you can. I like to kind of display them flat like this. I think that looks nice, like pressed onto a page. It could also make a cool like button or something. Lots of things you can do with this. Yeah, and I you can always get creative too with the paper you're using, like recycled candy wrappers, wrapping paper. You could write out some kind of poem or statement about what pride means to you and fold that into a crane to add something like sentimental to it. But there's lots you can do. I'm excited to see what projects you'll come up with. So thanks for joining us for Pride Month.